deregulation. I mean, I think that the regulatory policies of Obama really hurt industry and hurt businesses. But in implementing it, it's like they're idiots when it comes to implementing it. You don't have zero tolerance for immigration and not plan how to pull that off. And when you don't plan, you get kids in cage pictures. Okay, and that's that.
Well, how does this relate to the Pruitts?
Well, same thing here. You got a guy that was incredibly good at deregulating the EPA, defanging the most left-wing part of the federal bureaucracy, who was stupid with all this.
Well, he gave him a sword, right?
There was nothing he really did.
He did a lot.
None of those have really. I mean, it is very difficult to really roll back those policies, Charlie.
He did do it.
It is like a molasses.
That's why he was good at it. He was actually doing good stuff.
I think what he's saying is that
the litigation,
he was his own worst enemy, but he did the president's bidding here. And I'm wondering, Jonas, from your vantage point, whether that changes under Wheeler or now, people go for blood, sensing they got one, head on a spike, they can maybe get this guy's too.
I think he did damage to deregulation as a concept. It's not going to go on continuing, but look, when you're in the adding new regulation business, you can be a little shady. Because at the end of the day, to the public, you're going after these bad
Charlie and I should talk like that, not a guy named Jonas Max Ferris.
When you are removing regulations, particularly environmental regulations, under the benefit of consumers and jobs and prices, which is all true, you can't also be looking like you're on the graph take from corporate America, because they're also getting a huge benefit by not having to meet these environmental standards. So it ruins the whole thing, and it stops. You can't sell, oh yeah, I'm doing it for the little guy. Where's my gold pen? You cannot do that. It
well, that's part of the problem with the Trump administration is in having very good, I believe, policies on a lot of this stuff and in lousy execution. Listen,
but that deregulatory push, say what you will of it, and I agree with you either on the controversy of the guy doing it. He did it. He did a lot of it, and many will argue. I think you've even mentioned that the regulatory push greased the skids for the economic comeback we're enjoying.
One of the big parts that need to be deregulated for even better economic growth is the EPA, which just screws businesses.
I agree with you on that.
And Jonas is right. He just hurt the image of deregulation. And I'm just saying this is systemic through the Trump administration. Listen, even the tax cuts, were pretty messy. I mean, a huge corporate tax cut because they didn't want to go.
On message here.
They didn't want to go full on with a personal income tax cut. That really isn't doing as much.
But that regulatory zeal, which started really in EPA, that's where it was focused, right? It got a lot of stuff done that businesses found welcoming. You might agree.
Andrew Wheeler
do you think it changes now?
Yeah, because Andrew Wheeler was a Washingtonian operator. I mean, wasn't he a coal lobbyist?
Right.
He knows his way around Washington. I think he's going to be insanely more effective than Pruitt was. But
Pruitt, again, I want to say I'm not saying pro or con about it, certainly shenanigans and all. He was very effective. He was very effective at doing this job. So does Wheeler just build on that, or can Wheeler build on that, or the axe is out for him? What do you think?
Look, I'm more environmentalist than most people, but I don't like the CAF standards.
That's a Fox alert, right?
I don't like the CAF standards, which is when you say, well, I decree cars have to get 50 miles per gallon. That is a bad way to solve an environmental problem. You can do that much easier without the EPA with taxes on fuel, and that was going to probably collapse. And I would imagine that might have problems at this point, even though it seems to be moving along anyway. The notion that is how you clean up the environment through decreeing, which has been dodged since the Clinton era, where cars don't have to meet it and this and that. It doesn't work anyway, and that's the direction Obama went with more CAF standards, because it's a populist way.
All I'm saying, Jonah, is that this guy's gone. Environmentalists are going to miss him because at least he was bedeviled by all of these allegations.
Or they got a scalp and they drew a line in the sand.
It's like sharks. You taste blood. That's it.
And this guy Wheeler is going to pull back. And I'm telling you that in execution, the Trump administration is often the gang that couldn't shoot straight. I mean, that's the problem. And, it's here. It's in the immigration, carrying out the zero.
But they lose, too. The environmentalists lose, too, because now the guy certainly is going to be cleaner than this guy, and he's going to be able to get more done, right?
Sure? You sure he's not going to be scared?
I'm asking you.
I don't know.
You think he'll be scared? He's going to be scared?
No, I mean, I think listen, like I said, he's an operator in Washington. He knows what he's doing. I think he knows the ropes a little bit better than Pruitt. I know you all are pro-Pruitt over here, but I think...
No one's talking about pro-Pruitt. Some of the shenanigans over the top. I'm looking at it from a business issue.
I mean,
if you have a business issue with a guy who's tainted and he's getting sidetracked by all these investigations, which are totally justified, be careful what you wish for, because the other guy won't be so faded.
Right. And Pruitt needed a wartime consigliere, don't you think?
Sure. Well, guys, I want to thank you all very, very much. When we come back here, this would be sort of like, Charlie Gaspariano's agent notifying him, I'm dumping you. It happened to the actor James Woods on the 4th of July because he's conservative. After this.
Yogi is a bear. When it comes to hibernating, nobody does it better. He also loves swiping picnic baskets. Yogi! But when it comes to mortgages, he's less confident.
Here, Yogi.
Thank you, Boo-Boo.
Fortunately, there's Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. It's simple, so he can understand the details and get approved in as few as 8 minutes. Apply simply, understand fully, mortgage confidently. Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans.
Introducing Rust-Oleum Wipe New. Just wipe it on and instantly restore weathered, sun-damaged vehicles. Just one wipe will keep your vehicle looking like new for years to come. Nothing else compares in ease, durability, and staying power. Wipe New's groundbreaking formula outperforms traditional brands and has created a new standard that cannot be duplicated. Wipe New Headlight will instantly repair foggy, discolored headlights and keep them looking brand new. Rust-Oleum Wipe New products are guaranteed and available at fine retailers.
Can you think of anything more important than your brain? Your mind is an incredible machine, but as you get older, it begins to slow down. Blood flow declines, neurons misfire, and your brain even shrinks. You may experience a lack of sharpness, find it harder to focus, or forget important information. Fortunately, now there's 4Brain, a top-selling cognitive performance supplement at GNC from the experts at Force Factor. For a limited time, every man and woman in America can claim a complimentary bottle. Just use your smartphone to text SAFE to 202020. 4Brain's scientifically studied key ingredients have been clinically shown to promote sharper recall, clearer mental energy, and better concentration. Nothing is more important than taking care of your brain. And now you can with 4Brain. Claim your complimentary bottle by texting SAFE to 202020 with your smartphone. Do it now before you forget. That's SAFE to 202020.
Duncan just protected his family with a $500,000 life insurance policy. How much do you think it cost him? $100 a month? $75? $50? Actually, Duncan got his $500,000 for under $28 a month. Less than $1 a day. His secret? SelectQuote. In just minutes, a SelectQuote agent will comparison shop nearly a dozen highly rated life insurance companies and give you a choice of your 5 best rates. Duncan's wife, Cassie, got a for under $22 a month. Give your family the security it needs at a price you can afford. Since 1985, SelectQuote has saved over 1 million families millions of dollars on life insurance. Call now, 800-304-5039, or visit SelectQuote.com. Discover what over 1 million families know now. We shop, you save.
Getting dumped by your agent on the 4th of July. It happened to the actor James Woods, who, if you didn't know, is a brilliant actor, but he's also very conservative. And wondering if that had anything to do with it. The agent saying, it's the 4th of July and I'm feeling patriotic. I don't want to represent you anymore. I mean, I could go on a rant, but you know what I'd say. I can't tell you how many similar missives I got when I'd ask girls out for the junior prom. Finally, my mother said yes, but she had to be back by 10. But anyway, my good buddy, one of the funniest and nicest people I know, Joe Piscopo here, radio host extraordinaire. He is like a phenom in the Garden State. It's very good to have you.
Hello,
what do you
Neil.
make of what happened to Mr. Woods?
I can't believe it. I can't. It was inexcusable. James Woods is a great guy. He's got over 1.5 million Twitter followers.
Is that right?
Yes, and his agent took 10% of the Twitter account. I'm sure that's what happened.
So,
but
why did the agent choose to do it then?
I can't figure it out. It might have been just to do make publicity for himself.
Right,
I called my agent in California. I said, hey, can you believe what happened to James Woods? And my agent said, who is this? I'm the last guy that can comment.
It is weird.
No, I'm not in. I have
weird.
to say,
It's
with
very,
respect,
very weird.
It's just some
weird.
great agents, I have to tell you. But I'm not on the A list, the B list. I'm not even on the wait list at Hollywood. I keep telling you that.
Now you tease us.
I'm
You're
all right
actually
now, but last week I was in rough shape. I'll tell you.
But
well,
no,
you know, it's
inexcusable.
political,
Yes.
and I know you and I have chatted about this before.
Yeah.
And you're a veteran of Saturday Night Live, slightly skews left, I guess. What is it about that? I mean,
I don't know. I think,
intolerance or what?
Yeah, it seems to come worse from like the left than from the right. Although both sides, you know, on my radio show on AM 970. Thank you, Neil, for your kind words, because so many people.
But you bring out both.
We try to go right down the middle. Everybody's getting so crazy. Let me tell you about the New Jersey Hall of Fame, which we're going to nominate you next year. For the New Jersey Hall of Fame, I go in there. Who's hosting the New Jersey Hall of Fame this year? I go in there. Whoopi Goldberg. Who's being inducted? The great Steve Van Zandt. Who inducts Steve Van Zandt? The great Bruce Springsteen. Who's running the whole thing? Governor Murphy. I couldn't be more politically opposed to every single one of those individuals. We had the best time. We had the best time, and we went through. And Whoopi and I were laughing. That was funny. This is funny. Everybody's got to stop. Yeah. And the agent to do that to James Woods. James Woods says some riveting, very, very true things on Twitter, and maybe that offended the agent.
But you know, you said something very interesting, and you and I chatted about this when I was in Washington to interview Mitch McConnell. That's a name drop moment. But I got to tell you,
I can't understand Mitch McConnell. What's McConnell? Could Fox put subtitles when Mitch McConnell tries to talk, please? Oh, Mitch McConnell.
Stop yourself. Stop yourself right now. Anyway, when I was there, I always think this is like professional wrestling. I think everyone gets in their own point of view. They have to sound angry. But I'm watching Democrats and Republicans laugh and joke with each other. Then they get before a microphone and they say outlandish things.
Yeah.
And it's all kabuki theater.
Yeah.
It's just crazy talk.
Yeah.
Yet I'm hearing your fine show where, you know, you get all sides to come on, you laugh and joke with them, you zing them, they zing back.
Yep.
Human beings at their core. It's possible. It's happening in New Jersey. I think it happens in more places than we know. Yet we play these right-left games, and it's idiotic.
Yeah, it is. It's all games. It's all games. As a matter of fact, when you see what happened to De Niro, now is Robert De Niro's agent going to drop him for what he said about Donald Trump? And I think that Donald Trump should reach out to De Niro, and we talked about this on your Fox Business show, forgive me, earlier in the week, Neil. I think that Robert De Niro should coach Donald Trump when he meets with Vladimir Putin and do some of De Niro's characters. Hey, Vladimir, I want you to hit me in the face as hard as you can. Vladimir, I want you to take me out. Give me all you got.
Well, you mentioned De Niro. Now, you heard his comments about the president using the F word and all that.
Yeah.
How does that advance the debate?
It doesn't. It's just, matter of fact, especially
but these are all your friends.
Spectacular
these are all
arena
your friends.
That is Broadway. The best
How do they put up with you?
Did I say anything I want to say
No, but they know that you're a little bit more conservative than they, which would, by the way, wouldn't be a huge leap. But you get along with them. They like you and all.
Well,
how is that possible?
Confuse sometimes. If you say anything marginally nice about Donald J. Trump, they will come after you a little bit. And it's very, very frustrating because all we want is what's great for America. I think that we come from the greatest country in the world. Our families come from other countries. The immigrants are the mosaic and the fabric and the texture of the United States of America.
Stop it.
It's true. We got to stop. We got to stop.
You must admit the president sometimes feeds the beast, right?
Well, the point that is a fair criticism.
Okay, so when the president made a comment, as he did about President Bush
Did you hear what he said?
Senior. That's what he said about Senior and mocking the 1,000 points of light thing.
Yeah.
Do you think that was appropriate to do at a rally and a 94-year-old?
I am not on my radio show allowed to use that word. Do you know that? I got